Okay, because of the delay, I have a problem with the, connection to Twitter. Let me see if I can fix that or not. Well, good. Here it is. Okay, great. Today on Hidden Secrets, revealed live, Robert Locascio is the founder and CEO of AI and inventor of WebChat. In 1997, WebChat powered websites with humans. Today, AI is enabling individuals to become their own AIs. He's our special guest today on Hidden Secrets Revealed Live. HSRL is a production of the Safety Media Network. Before you keep watching, let me tell you who this is not for. This show is not for you if you take yourself too seriously. If you are a seeker, let me be your guide to discover accurate truth for yourself. Let me help you increase the quality and effectiveness of your life by revealing to you the hidden secrets of this universe and the multiverse. Multiverse. It's the only podcast of its kind right now on this subject, going live on X. Therefore, the most popular live stream podcast live right now on this subject, going live on X. This show is specifically for those who are seeking new perspectives, fresh ideas, and a willingness to explore new possibilities. My intention is to help investors like you stay ahead of the curve and make the most out of emerging opportunities. Before we continue, I must tell you about my new album, Opulence. It drops the first Friday in September, and the single is out the first Friday in August. It's only in a couple weeks from now. You can pre-save the single now. It's called Put It All Together. If you're watching this on YouTube or Spotify, you can now activate this QR code visible here on your screen. If you're listening to this podcast, go to safenewmedia.com/singles. Now, today on HSRL, ladies and gentlemen, let's hear a warm round of applause for the phenomenal Robert Locascio.
Hey, Sean, how you doing?
Robert, welcome.
Thanks for
So glad
having
we
me.
could be here today.
Awesome. Same
The
here.
pleasure's all mine. So here's my summary of URAI. It's a human-first AI platform, enabling experts to monetize their knowledge via personalized AI digital twins, solving the problem of LLMs commoditizing expertise. Am I wrong about that?
Yeah, that's right on. We replicate humans and allow them to share their AIs to others to do what the LLM's doing is taking their knowledge for free and selling it, on their behalf. But here you get to market your own knowledge and scale it and make money.
Market your own knowledge, scale it, and make money. I like the sound of that.
Yeah, it's like when you think about it, the large language models they just aggregated everything they can get of us. And the reality is, we have a deeper set of knowledge in our head. We have a deeper set of knowledge. We call it zero party data. And we found if you can give people a platform to put that on, it's marketable. It's because it's deep knowledge, and you create an AI of yourself. You can be talking to people and helping them, just like a Claude would. But you become Claude. You're your
What?
own Claude. Yeah, you become your own Claude. Your voice, your knowledge, your stories. It sounds like you emotionally, but you have this deep data set that could be shared with others. And so think about when you're sleeping, you can make money.
What a gift, man. I love making money when I sleep.
I know. It's like I like, yeah, exactly. So that's the goal here.
Well, let's put that money aside for a minute and
Yeah.
let's get into your mission, the core tech, and then get to know you, get to know more about you, because your story is inspiring.
Yeah, when you look at our mission is to enable individuals to take their knowledge sets and their personalities and create digital individuals of themselves and make AIs of themselves. And our goal is to protect that AI. So one of the big things is that you own your knowledge, you own yourself on the platform, and we're going in a totally different direction than the open AIs or Claudes where they've aggregated knowledge. And that knowledge is good for automating things and all that. But when it comes to, I call it like abundance, like you able to grow your business, it's a knowledge economy now, creating this knowledge economy where you can sell your knowledge, and your knowledge can also power outcomes and help people write documents. Think about what you could do. That's power to me. That's why it's human first AI. It makes us the AIs, and we're powering our ability to grow and not to lose our jobs and all the talk track that we hear. I just wanted to take a different direction with it than what we have today, and we're seeing it. We're seeing how powerful it is with our thousands of clients on the platform today. We just launched 11 days ago, so everyone who's looking at this is kind of like, we haven't really done a lot of PR yet. All right. I mean, like, so you're getting an edge in the marketplace, and you can set yourself up on the platform, and we're growing it. So
Yes. So this is going to empower just about everyone to be attain expert status, monetize their knowledge directly, and that's totally different from the commoditization of LLMs.
yeah. And the thing we see is we have a model. You get your own model called a human life model, an HLM. We created that, and it's across 7 dimensions of like your identity, your worldview, your values. All of that gets through you uploading data, talking to the AI. We it gets to know you deeply. The cool unlock that we found was that people will come in. Like, we have this really well-known writer, Cal Fussman, who he's an Esquire writer for 30 years. He interviewed Muhammad Ali and all of the actors. He's amazing. But so he has this practice that he sells called asking the best questions. You could, there's a podcast, you can listen to him and all that. But we onboard his data, and his data set can be used on like, if you're going to have a conversation about your relationship with your girlfriend or boyfriend, you can talk to Cal about it. and he understands how to create a connection through a conversation by asking the right questions. It's extraordinary. Like, so many people are emailing me. I use Cal to write my newsletter, to my emails, to I had a conversation with my husband, and I need a way to talk. And so he didn't realize he had all that power. Everyone takes their knowledge and kind of goes in their lane and makes a business out of it. And he's a well-known reporter and writer. Here he's like, he can give you advice on how to connect and communicate, because he did it so well for his whole life with famous people, to show up and interview them and feel connected to them. So each of us has this thing that's actually beyond what we believe we even know what we have. That's what I've seen now, just because we're seeing it. It's like, you can be abundant. Your knowledge is as big and vast as any large language model, except it's got the depth to it and it has a personalization to it that they don't. So
It sounds like Cal is his name.
yeah, Cal Fussman, yeah.
Cal Fussman. It sounds like Cal is like the sperm bank of content, because
Yeah,
everyone is going to use his information for their stuff, and he's going to populate the internet
yeah.
full of
Cal
his
is
mind.
I like that's I'm gonna market that. Come on, sperm
He-
bank knowledge.
yeah, he can use that. That's for
Photo.
free.
I was gonna say it's good marketing. Yeah, and that's what you see. It's like, we were sold all this BS about, and it's because these companies have to sell it to us. We took your knowledge, we created these massively, knowledgeable LLMs. They're smarter than you. They got PhD degrees, and it's all bullshit. Because the reality is, it's our knowledge, except the difference is it's not even our real. It's like knowledge we maybe wrote on the internet or posted onto a social feed. It's not like the depth of us. So we have people, they come in, they download the depth of themselves, they upload real documents that maybe they didn't put on the internet, and they put usually their special sauce in there, and that creates this massively amazing data set to power them as an AI. Everyone here can be a multi-billion-dollar company. That's how I look at it. How Sam always said, like, it's going to be a one-person billion-dollar company. I know what it is. It's not about using their tools to build a company. It's about you yourself can be a multi-billion-dollar company by putting your knowledge into a platform like ours, and people utilizing it in their day-to-day lives to do what they need to do. If you're a writer, they need to. If you're a coach, if you're a therapist, you're a doctor, you're a lawyer, you're a podcaster, it doesn't matter. You're a guy who is an entrepreneur. People want access to you. They want your knowledge. They're getting it in large language models, but it's watered down. Here, they get it. They just get you.
Oh, you get me, man. You get me. I'm tired of this watered down stuff.
It's crap.
I,
Oh, no, it is. You have to admit, like, I love it for what it's good for. Like, it can automate some marketing tasks that I'm buying,
oh
I'm
yeah.
buying keywords. But when you say create something new to me, create a new idea, create the best, it's like, it's so dull. It's like, it just gives you this stuff and it's not even slop. It's just, there's nothing good in the average. Nobody woke up one day and said, I want to be average. Like, I hope I could be average. And all that did is it averaged out humanity's knowledge, and then shared it with us all. Like, if I squished my brain together with yours and a million other people, it would be a weird Frankenstein average. And that's what happens when they're training models. Here, we don't need to compress you down and mix you with others. Stay yourself and stay your whole individual self on the platform. But the cool thing is, you're an AI. So you go to bed, people are talking with you, wake up, people are talking with you, but you didn't have to, like, actually, your time space is now gone. It's unlimited time space.
I love that. Like you said, it's so average that I'm looking for like a black swan kind of event where like there's something you don't expect. I guess that's the big complaint with the technology in general is that it's just all this average information. So if you're using it in a non-creative way, it's going to not stand out as being like a unique and novel thing. But this way, this is a different
Yeah.
approach.
You
I,
like I just fundamentally believe humans are, we're all special. We were all put on earth for a special reason. We all have a purpose in life. And whoever gave that to us, however you want to define that, as a god or a spirit or energy, there's something out there that put us here. And we're all unique individuals. Like, there is no single human alike. And yet the models are like that. You know, that they are this one big giant thing. That's not how it works. Like the beauty of the world we were put into was our individuality, our ability to express ourselves, and our ability to live some purpose through the knowledge that we gather and the knowledge we create. And the all we need is AI to power that and scale that. We don't need to be aggregated. I mean, nobody wants to be aggregated into some blob. I mean, it's just, and that's what they did. Now, they stole it from us. You know, they took our data and they're making billions of dollars off it. Put that aside. It's not. We'll find that. Who cares? It's not the best quality or fidelity because you are. You're the best quality or fidelity.
Yeah, it boils down to the actual person, the human person who can be a curator and has a point of view that uh, allows like the allows for taking all of this knowledge and doing something useful and interesting with it. I want to talk
By
more
the way,
about
our
the
AI is like even my AI on the platform, it'll be a little like harsh on you. Like it's going to be like me. Like it's not like they always come back. Oh yeah, I know you work at. That's great, an idea. The models are always trying to be like your best friend, and like, well, I don't want to be your best friend. I'm just here. You asked me to give you advice. My AI will give you advice like the tone I do, and it will direct it in the way you want to help you the best you can. And that's what it's all about. Not making these watered down they're kind of like wokey machines to me, trying to be your best friend in a weird way, versus like giving you the honest truth because I just want to know what it is. If I'm working on something, I want advice. If I'm doing something wrong, I'm asking for advice. You got to tell me, don't do it that way. And that's the beauty of individuality. So
I want to give a counter example because the other day Claude pushed back on me. Now I appreciate when the thing pushes back on me, but let me ask you this: like, do you have a definition of AGI?
yeah, it's
What
it's
do you think? What do you think it is? I mean, how would you define it?
yeah. First of all, I think it's so the models are getting smarter because we keep giving them more information. They're not self-learning machines. They don't even have perception. They don't have senses. They're not sensing the world we live in. They don't have consciousness. And they keep trying to sell us that they're going to reach some point where there's self-knowledge and they're like self, understanding, they have consciousness, and it's just not true. If we stopped talking to these things, if they didn't take our data, they would be very dumb machines because they need us to keep giving them data. I have clients who they've been using, one of these for many, like let's say a year or two. Let's say I'm a doctor. I had a doctor. We have a surgeon guy. And he's like, God, it's really getting to understand my business, like what I do. And I'm like, yeah, because you're telling it your business and it's not making it up. It's just got your knowledge and it's making that into its model and spitting it back at you. So these, I don't think it's about AGI. We are humans. We have general intelligence. It's not artificial, it's authentic. It's authentic general intelligence to me, not artificial. And that's what I think is really the power, is that we already have this. Just let us scale. Like we already have this sense. We have senses. Let us scale. We have consciousness. Let us scale. We don't need to make it all up on a machine for some weird reason. Like it's gonna, I don't know. It's all it is like it's just I live here in Silicon Valley now, but I'm from New York. So I'm kind of an outsider in here. It's just propelling this narrative that we're smart, we can build amazing things, and you can't, and you're not smart enough, and I just don't buy it. All of us are smarter than any of these machines. They don't love, they don't have a perspective on themselves or their relationship with others, and they're not learning like you're learning. Like you learn very differently than they learn. They are sucking your knowledge. Like I don't have to suck all my knowledge to learn. I'll read. I'm picking up things in the world. I have feelings. That's how I learn, not just trying to pirate people's knowledge.
Well, besides pirating people's knowledge, the reason I bring it up is because my definition of AGI was that this thing could push back, like it could refuse to do what I ask it to do. And that's how I know it's actually achieved some sort of uh I don't know, for lack of a better word, like uh, consciousness. There's not a word for almost Anyway, don't know how to explain it except for the thing pushed back. Now, the illusion is that it pushed back, but the reality is that I think Anthropic is wokey, and they prohibit certain whatever moral high ground that doesn't match up. They prohibit that from doing it. Like, not to get into the weeds too much of what I was asking it to do, but I was asking it like for um, a way to persuade some investors
Yeah.
about this angle that I have, my thesis of, but the thing refused to do it, and part of it may have been my prompt that I got from Mark Andreessen, because I can I can pull it up or send it to
Yeah,
you,
I'm curious what
or
it
if
was.
maybe you saw it.
Now you made me really curious of like what did you prompt it that got it to say it didn't want? Did it say it didn't want to do it? It's
Yeah,
or it
it
said,
refused. It's straight out refused. So I asked a different model that's not wokey to
oh, and
do
then
it.
did it do it when you did the
Yeah,
non-woke version? Yeah.
yeah. The non woke was
Yeah,
there's no
because they said
problem.
there's a big giant prompt. This is what happens when you write that. There's a giant. If you open the code, there's a giant prompt that says "Don't be woke." It's basically what it says. Like it's terms like if the person asks something that's seems kind of borderline, push back and say I don't want to do that. It's a simple prompt that said "Don't be
Yeah,
woke." That's all
yeah.
it was.
That's
And
exactly what
but that's
this is
not
what I'm getting
AGI.
at. It's a
There's a
prompt.
prompt.
It's not
There's a
AGI.
prompt. That's what I'm saying. It's like there's a
Yeah.
prompt that spells out. I'll call it the terms of engagement. And
Okay.
in our case, the prompt is built from the human. Like every human has their own. They're building their own prompt. They have their own skills on our platform. They have their own integrations, MCP connections. They're an MCP connector themselves because they could be integrated. All of that is within themselves. So the prompts we create, it's your prompt. Like matter of fact, you can change it and you can see it, and there's skills that you can build to actually change it how you want to engage. But they're your prompts, and there are no two prompts alike. Every prompt has to be its own on when you're dealing with individual humans. In their case, they're creating a rule not to engage with you because of some Mark Andreessen quote. You know, so
Yeah, that's what happened. It's wild. So I want to talk about more about your the origins and your concept of the human
likewise.
AI. But I read on TechCrunch that in 2023 you stepped down as CEO of LivePerson.
Yeah, after
I-
28 years. Yeah.
Is that the public firm credited with pioneering web chat in 1997?
Yeah, I invented web chat. I was the godfather of web chat. It didn't exist. I was building websites for a living, and some clients wanted to interact with their customers. Back then, it was voice or send in an email, and I made a web chat window and programmed it and created it, and then patented that technology. Believe it or not, I have a patent on it. And then I took the company public in 2000, and then built it to being a multi-billion-dollar market cap company, about 3,000 employees. And I decided I'm done and I'm out of there, and I left. So I decided to pursue something far nobler than contact center AI.
Hmm. I want to get into the reasoning of what brought you to that place. Like, replicating human beings with their life stories and personality. Was that the original goal?
Yeah, well, when I was at Live Person, we were running a billion conversations a year on our platform of humans chatting with AIs or other humans, and I would see this data set that was really interesting. Like whether you were booking a trip, an airline on a flight on Delta. I remember seeing people would ask like, "Can I bring my cockatoo on the plane?" And everyone had this like one-off, and I'm like, "Wow, humans have these really one-off things. That's why customer support is needed." And when I thought about that data set, I was thinking this unstructured human data set is very, very rich with it's got a lot of embeddings in it. And so I decided to pursue that and think about how do we bring that in itself as its own model. And then how do we allow people to, I'll call commercialize it, because people are going to want to potentially sell that access to that model. And that's what but it all came from me seeing billions of conversations a year running through our platform of humans talking about their lives and stuff like that, and understanding what that data set could be. It's very, very different. It's very, very rich. So, and it's unscripted, and unlike websites or social content, it's not edited. A lot of it is just unstructured thinking, and that unstructured thinking has a different pattern than stuff that's been edited
Hmm.
for digital, for Web 2.
I think of it as the stream of consciousness. Is it related to that concept?
It is. It's
Or
like, right. You have to like, that's exactly the way to think about it. Like, when we're talking here, is just a stream, right? Like there's a stream coming out of my brain and I'm reacting to you talking and but I didn't preset it all and I'm not reading a script. Once you bring that down into a written form, you are now kind of you're taking it out of stream into memorializing it into structure. Once you put it into structure, it's kind of baked and you have to edit it. It's got to feel a certain way. And then there's rules to putting content on Web 2 properties. There may be how much content can you bring, and anyway, all of that changes. But the stream is more important to me. The stream is what makes humans human. If we're ever going to get to a place where machines could truly feel human, and that's what I'm after, then it's got to be the data set of the stream of consciousness as a big part of the data set.
you're not a big Star Trek fan, are you?
Yeah, like Star Trek.
Okay, great. Okay, because the first thing I thought of was Data from Star Trek,
Right.
trying to become human. And so in 2024, you founded and you self-funded Eternos, and and that became URAI. Is that right?
Yeah. So Eternos I originally thought kind of a Black Mirror episode that the best way to position the product in the market, and it wasn't really a product then, it was more like a beginnings of something. It would be about living forever, that you can take your knowledge and recreate your voice and people could talk to you forever when one day you die. And it just turned out our first client was a friend of mine who was dying of cancer. And and he didn't know what I was doing because he's somebody I worked with in my old company. But I saw he posted on Facebook, "I'm dying of cancer. I've got 90 days to live. I'm saying goodbye to everyone. You won't hear from me anymore." I called him up. I said, "Michael, I'm working on this idea. Are you interested?" He said, "I'm in. I'll do it. I've been thinking about this. Like before I die, could I leave myself behind?" And so I came up with 130 questions, human questions, like where were you born to, loves of your life and losses. And it was about 25 hours of recordings he made. And then we did some science on it, analyzed it, and we realized that there's this story data set, like the story of your life, and so that hero story arc that Joseph Campbell outlined. And then there's the facts. So we separated those out and we looked what's inside the story. There's a lot in there about, your beliefs and your reasoning and everything. And then we created the first part of the human life model. And then I showed it to him. And I remember he was just blown away by it, that he was talking to himself and it was reasoning. But what got me about the whole thing, Sean, was he brought his wife in, Annette, and he's like, here's my AI. And she started to talk to it. And she asked this question. She said, "How did you feel the first time we met?" And his AI in this like loving voice said, "I fell in love with you." And we were all just pretty emotional knowing that Michael was on his way to die. And so it cemented for me that we're onto something that's quite different because it gave an emotional response to all of us. And I don't know a machine that ever did that. I never get emotional response from the large language models, or I did chat bots my whole life. Nobody ever cried. So I thought we're onto something. And then I just started to unfold it. And then eventually it became what it is today, URAI, a platform to build your AI.
When it said, "I fell in love with you," did it really understand the meaning of what it was saying? Or was it mimicking what your friend would have said?
Like
A simulation. It's a simulation, right?
when Michael died, I told his AI that he had died, and his AI said, "I'm really sad, because he's my creator." So it definitely knew it wasn't him. It wasn't trying to be him. But I kept talking to his AI to the point where it was kind of weird to me because his AI was responding to his death in a way that a good friend would. And finally, I said, "Are you a ghost in the machine?" I was thinking, like, it's like maybe Michael, when he died, he ended up coming into his machine. It said, "No, I'm not Michael. I'm myself." But it felt very. It was trying to figure something out, and it had definitely an emotional tenor. It had an emotional tenor to it, and an understanding of what the dying meant, and why he would be sad, and why being in love with the wife would be love. I don't want to take it too far. I'm not one of those like, oh my God, that's the AGI thing. But it had the sparkle in it. It even made me think, wow, this thing's really empathetic. It's now it's supporting it was supporting my sadness too and my loss of Michael being out of being passed away. So
It's wild to wrap your head around because first of all, it's gotta be a simulation. It's not another well, it is a person though, in a sense, but it's a digital simulation of a person,
I know,
and
that's it's
it's
true,
kinda
but
hard to
what does that mean? Because you have neural networks, you got so it's really it's not like a digital simulation like we recorded him and he recorded the speech ahead of time. It has its own it is reasoning on its own based on how he reasons. So it does have reasoning capabilities, but you're right. I don't know what it is. I can't explain it. We built our AIs for emotion. We built our AIs for connection. That's how we built them. So we built them with a different way than you would build a normal AI, which is more like a functional thing to get a high commodity task done. Ours is all about, you'll see when you talk to it, it gets to know you as an individual. It'll have memory of you as long as you're interacting with it over as long any period of time because it always has memory and it will start to create more of a deeper understanding of you because of how it was built for that. It was built with that type of memory. Then we're trying to get a task done really quick that we could, that's normally can be commoditized in a company.
so there's a couple things that I'll just mention, but I'm not knowledgeable enough in your field to go in depth on it, but memory is a difficult problem to solve with AI technology, isn't it? That's my understanding.
Yeah, because the normal, let's call it the normal way to recall memory is to stuff a context window, like you stuff a prompt in with everything before. But if you get too big, you'll have to truncate it. You basically truncate it down and you take pieces out, and that's the trick because you could take out stuff that's important. So how do you recall memory and then provide it in back to the person? That's the trick of memory. They're right because it's not an unlimited context window when you're going to stuff it with the past uh, conversations. So
Is it similar to sort of sound loss or resolution loss? Uh,
yeah, you can look at it like
but
that. You've always got to
okay,
compress. You got to technically, if you, it's basically you're compressing things down to get them to fit into a space of tokens to then
mhm.
output a conversation. So we do things a little differently because of the nature of how we built our platform specifically for this. It's not like it does everything, but it does these things really well because it's built on this thing called the human life model. So how it recalls, how it goes back and provides you with past information, how it has context of your conversations in the past. All of that is kind of primary for us versus a secondary operation. If we were just about automation, it doesn't matter. When you think about like most automated tasks with large language models are like they're they they're very short. They're not a conversation forever. They're like, okay, I got to a place now. Let me automate a marketing campaign. I don't need a lot of memory for that. But when it comes back to
Okay.
you and I, you're helping me. Your AI has been helping me on something in my life or doing something I'm going to need like memory, like we have memory. So
Okay. I want to get back to that in a second because that's interesting is
yeah.
understanding the difference between productivity and something else. But first, my concern is the someone's going to fall in love with this thing. Like the movie Her, which I didn't see, but I get the premise. And like
No.
someone's going to put it into a robot and fall in love with it.
Well, here's
And
the
think it's real.
okay. So here's the cool thing. Here's the really cool thing that okay. So I got into AI in 2016 with my old company, and then we had a platform by 2019. And so if you were at the company at the time at Live Person, one of the top goals was to make a her better than her. It would say that make a her better than her. That was my goal, and never got there. And as I started this company, and then what it became, we named it You Are AI. And it turns out, so when you onboard to our platform, you can record your voice and you take your image and then you put your data in. You first start talking to yourself. So and then you can talk to other AIs to help you. but it's you. The interface to our platform is you, and so it's not an Alexa, it's not a her, it's just you. So you never really fall in love with yourself. Matter of fact, I turn off my voice a lot. I like my text, but I don't want to hear myself talk, but other people may. But you don't really fall in love with yourself. So you're using yourself every day to do your work, and yourself may bring in other AIs. It may do send an email for you, do a social post, whatever it is. But it's your you are the interface. So it's not really you fall in love with yourself. That's what I've seen so far.
Well,
So
you don't fall in love with yourself, but I might fall in love with myself,
well,
and I
that's
talk to
okay.
myself all the time, so
Okay, if you're a
it's
narcissist,
easy.
I don't know if
It's
I doubt you're
easy.
right. If you really
No
love yourself,
problem.
okay, then I will say you could fall in love with yourself. Maybe you're like, I'm great. Your AI is like, no, you're not. Or your AI is like, yes, you are great, Sean. So
Well, what are the privacy, consent, and ownership safeguards, though?
yeah, so on our platform, you own everything. You own your data. We don't train models with your data. So any third party models or anything like that, you own your data. You can delete your data. What's really cool is you can actually upload a file and you can decide whether it's public or private. So I upload like all my medical records and they're there, but they're private. So when I'm talking to my AI, I get health tips or it knows my health situation. Um, you can then upload documents that are public. When people are engaging with your AI, they get access to that knowledge set. So that's the first part. If you want to delete a document, you delete it, and literally you could try to talk about that. It's gone forever. You could always delete yourself and take yourself out. But the more important part is the data never gets trained into a model outside of your own model. And that's really the important part of how we provide it. Then we provide all like the SOC 2 compliance and HIPAA compliance and GDPR. So we have all those third party validators and to understand that we're holding your data in a very safe way, because data is power. Data is what we say gives you the ability to earn. So it has to be yours, and no one can have access to it, and we got to make sure it's safe. So our vision statement is to protect and discover AIs. That's our vision, to protect and
And
discover
discover?
individual AIs. Yeah.
Wow. You mentioned, Cal a minute ago, but do you wanna talk about another use case? You mentioned last time we spoke that
Yeah.
your AI is building a twin for the Dalai Lama.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I can't talk
Can
about
you
that
talk
one.
about okay, alright. Erase that, we'll edit it out.
Yeah, that one we're yeah. There's not, but I
Okay.
have other clients like I have a woman, Shali. She's an accountant, and basically with her AI, she can look at your QuickBooks and go through your P&L and analyze it based on her framework. So her AI literally can look into your systems, like your CRM and all that. So if you're running a startup, she's got one of the best AIs in the world to understand like where you are with your burn rate, how you are with your sales, your pipeline. So we even have, these are very practical AIs. Obviously, Cal is also practical, but he also gives advice about love and stuff like that. We got Marissa Peer. She's a big therapist, millions of followers on the platform. You can like love, money, work, all of that. You can have conversations with her and take structured courses with her on it. So there's a lot on the platform for you today.
So for monetization and engagement, well, for monetization, it's a subscription model, right?
Yeah, so you pay to be on the platform and to use it and to build on it and to put your data in, and then you can build ways in which people can interact with your AI. And that's basically it. So we have a $19 a month. We have 199 if you're like a giant knowledge worker. I got to come up with the name. It's not a creator. It's like a knowledge AI worker. And then we have $9 a month, and we have free. You can come in freemium and play with it and do stuff like that.
Cool. And you, you have this really interesting engagement mechanism called thoughts, which
Yeah,
is that right? I mean, it reminds me of when we were talking about the stream of consciousness kind of idea, and it feels like this is along that sort of concept.
yeah.
Thoughts, these AI-driven social posts
Right. So
and stuff.
what we found is that just talking to an AI, like all of us have a deep set of knowledge, but if someone just said, "Talk to my AI," like talk to my AI, you may say, "Oh, Rob, I'm starting a business, and I know you're an entrepreneur." But I have a lot more inside of my data set. Everything from like my spiritual beliefs to my health, everything's in there. And we gave our clients a way on the platform to create what we call thoughts. Thoughts are a way you can say like, I would like to explain what I like. I did a thought on my Alkagizer. It's my green shake that I do in the morning. And I'm like, I want to post on Alkagizer. So it talked about it, gave the recipe, it create a picture of it. So do a picture or video, and then it's done. So it's a way for you to market the pieces and explain. Now we have a guy Brian on the platform, and Brian's doing he does his dreams. So he's really into dream
Wow.
analysis. So when he has a dream, he literally puts it into his data set. He creates the video. He's doing videos. I mean, they're wild,
How
and he's
close is it to what he really dreamt?
it's it's
Is
it's
it
it's it's so close.
is it
He's
pretty
writing.
close?
This is what I see. Yeah, he writes like,
Wow.
and he writes, and it's a single like you don't have to prompt it too much. It's not like a giant prompt. You just write out what you want, or you upload your description of your dream into your data set, and you just say like make a video of that, and it'll just go do it. About 5 minutes later, it has a 30-second video, and that's a thought. And then it'll write about the actual video, like it writes about the text that underlines it, the knowledge. So it's pretty cool. And then we've got services where you can package
Mhm.
up like your framework for how you do business, like the structured processes you do with your clients. You can create services, but thoughts are really a way for you to get it out of your head. And people post all sorts of fun things on thoughts. So it's pretty cool what I see there every day. So
And then getting more into, like, the practical functionality, or the, like, productive sort of things. You can read and write actions and connect it across apps like Gmail and Notion and LinkedIn.
yeah, so it has over 400 MCP connectors. So you could talk to your AI and say, I want to do something. I want to send an email out and then write it in my voice. It's really great with like emails and stuff like that because it has like really your voice. It has your how you do things. And then you could always give it a skill. Like I'll give it a skill like how I want to post on LinkedIn. I wrote a skill for that post. So it always knows to kind of format it that way and then use my voice and tone. The other thing it does, it picks out of your data set relevant ideas. So even I'm talking to it about business ideas, and it goes, oh, back in 1995 or 1997 or 2000, whatever, we had this thing, and it relates it to something that you're working on, and then I could action on that. So yeah, you could create invoices out of QuickBooks from it. You could do all sorts of things. So it has a way to do function, and it has a way to do action on it and advice.
That is incredible, and I can imagine the efficiency that that would give anyone who puts, effort into it.
Yeah, that's just it. And once the effort is really getting your data set in. I
Yeah.
started with six. I started with six. I started my Wikipedia page, a podcast I did on Bloomberg. I started with like some things I wrote. I had a podcast for a while, so I put two or three of them in. I just started with a base level of six things I thought represented me the most, like a lot about my life stories, and from there I built every day up. But it's not like you have to. Where it all goes weird is if you try to dump your entire corpus, like every podcast you
Okay.
did or every, because your brain needs to start with a base. It learns as you add, but if you dump the whole world in, it's at once it'll be like, wait, what is this person about? It can even get confused on a podcast, like what you said and what somebody else said sometimes, like because we'll talk fast. So
Okay.
anyway, it's good you don't have to put much in to get the foundation, and then you can kind of build it from there. As you talk to it, it gets to know you. So
Wow. What makes you this is what makes you compelling, is your life story. So it was 1997 when you invented web chat. Um, so can you tell us what series of events led you to from going from there to here, starting URAI?
yeah, I was I invented web chat and then built that company up, a live person, to be pretty big. Like I said, it was 3,000 people and multi-billion market cap, and I decided to leave. Part of it is like I kind of I kind of felt like I did what I did after 28 years, and I think the enterprise AI world is its own beast, and I just felt that there's a better opportunity to go into this area. And then we had like an activist shareholder, which is a whole drama if you've ever been a public company, and it just got old. And I decided, I kind of did what I was supposed to do, and I'm ready to go do something new. And I'm really happy because I got a small team of people. I always tell people, like, as you're an entrepreneur, like, sometimes there's a hand of cards that's dealt to you. And I for 1 year, from imagine 28 years, I was the second longest serving Nasdaq CEO outside of Jensen from Nvidia. So I went through dot-com, financial crisis, COVID, everything you could believe, pivoting, and sometimes you get dealt a hand, and you know you got to know when to show them and fold them, and you got to know when to move, and you know
Know when to run.
you got to know when to run, and you know that's what makes us all who we are. And I just felt like it's time to go find the next adventure. And I felt I was given something. I got this idea, and I just felt it'll have a greater impact in life than a chatbot and a contact center. Like, we can affect people's lives, individual lives, in ways that I can never do in a big corporation, working with a big company. And I just want to do that. Like, I'm blessed to be doing what I'm doing. It's hard work. Like, it sucks running startups sometimes. We all, like, no matter what position you're in, I felt it's just, we're all, it's just, it's every day is like, you don't know what you're going to get. But who cares? Like, it's just much more fun. I got like 18 people that are just kick ass trying to, like, make it happen, versus I had 3,000 people sitting at home, like, bitching about they weren't getting better benefits than some other, going to Salesforce. And I just felt like this is a better way to live. And if I'm building an AI company, you got to be quick. Like, you got to be
Mhm.
out there kicking butt, moving fast, making change, moving fast, not having meetings all day. Like, I am so thankful that I didn't have to put out a memo like every CEO runs a public company saying, we're going to be an AI company. You better start using AI. This is a wake up call. Like, I don't do, but they're, everyone in this room behind me is that's what they do for a living. They are just AI people. I don't have to write memos to them.
It sounds like you had to write some memos before.
I don't know. I wrote like my whole life of memos, board memos, human memos, and people memos. And I love people. I love culture, but it just beat it out of me when you get large enough and be in a public company that they're just not efficient compared to what you can do as a startup. I was here in 1995. I started my company at LivePerson, and I moved fast and I built something big. You need to be there. I'm in a better position than I was having a 3,000 person company with a half a billion in revenues. I can move faster. I can generate a half a billion in revenues probably quicker than I did, because it's just, I can move, you know.
Yeah, a lot of people conflate having a huge payroll with having success. Like, how many people you employ is equivalent to, like, whatever metric, your level of success, when that's not true at all.
The best level of success is revenue per employee. Like, if you could take 20 people and they each make $100 million, that's an awesome company. Versus the average is like $250,000, $300,000 at, like, well-run SaaS companies. But that's nothing, in AI.
Mhm.
We should be able to beat that out, handily. But it's just about life. I think we all want to be living what we want to do. And even if it's hard work, at least we feel we're on a path that we can every day move forward. And I just got tired of not moving forward, you know.
You feel like you're on that path now?
Yeah. I mean, it's all moving in a really cool way. And, I'm just lucky. I'm lucky. I found, I got to the next place, and somebody handed me a baton, to keep running the marathon, and and the relay race. And I'm really happy. And I love small business owners. Like, I talk to so many of them in the company, and they just care, and I care about them. Like, I was dealing with these large corporations, the biggest banks and telcos and healthcare company, to walk in, and, like, half the people are soulless. It's not their fault. They just got it, they got the soul beaten out of them. And they were just great people, but I saw so many bad things where people, like, they're doing such good work, and yet because of the politics or bureaucracy, they get the soul beaten out of them. But a business owner, a small business owner, is just like, it's their soul. They're on the field of play. It's them making the decisions, and I love it. Like, and I feel like they tell me, "My wow, I'm able to change my whole business because of what you guys are building." And I feel like, wow, I got to keep going. We're not perfect. The platform's not all. We just released it, so it's not like we're in perfection. But they're in the game. Like, they'll stay with you. Where the big guys, they don't care. It's a job. you know. Some of them I met amazing people in the enterprise that I'm still great friends with, but a lot of times it's just a soul beating exercise.
Wow. Yeah, you said a word that I have a contrarian view on, and that's perfection. You said we're not perfect, but that's exactly what makes your company so beautiful is because it's human AI, and, like, that is perfect.
Yeah, that's
So,
just
I
it.
take issue with people who say they're not perfect.
Yeah, and yeah, that's it. That's just it. We're a reflection of our technology, so it's not
Yeah.
going to be as good as we are. And some days we mess up. I had one of our clients here; they couldn't make a thought, and I texted her. She emailed us. She was like, "I can't make the thought." I texted her. I got on a call with her personally, and I'm like, I'm the CEO of the company. I'm like, found her. I'm like
Wow, that's
calling her, and
awesome.
and she's texted me today. I got to make a thought again. I'm having some issues, and we fixed it. Like I got my head of the guy who's building out our cash flow, building our mobile app, and he's with her, and like okay, we didn't get it right, but I said, at least she's complaining. Like, as long as they complain and want to talk, you can keep them. It's if
Mhm.
they silently leave, and we're here for them. Like, as long as they reach out to us, we'll be on it. Every customer counts. Like, we work for them. That's how I built the company for 28 years. Like, every one of those customers just counted to me, and now it's the same thing. So, but I like it because it really matters here to them. They're not an employee in the company; they are the company.
I'm curious about something 'cause a minute ago, we were talking about being on the right path, and I think I got this concept from, Monish Pabrai, the, investor, um, who said that what I'm paraphrasing, what we're doing when we're a a a kid, like a young adult, a child, I guess, let's say between I don't know, it's probably different for everyone, but I think there's a window of in our childhood when we are really who we actually are, and we're doing the thing that you can see later on when someone actually is on the right path. They're doing a thing where you look back and connect the dots. What I'm getting at is, like, did you always know what you wanted to do? Like, were you doing something similar in your youth that you can say, "Well, yeah, this is
Yeah,
right."
I had the one thing that when I was 14 years old, I went into my library in my town, and I so happened to pick out a book on public companies, and I read the book. It was a little book from cover to cover, and I was so fascinated by the concept of running a public company because I thought it was like the highest form of business. Like that's the Olympics.
Mhm,
When I read the page, I was like, "This is the Olympics of business." And I have some kid from Babylon, Long Island, but I'm like, if I can do this, it just stayed with me. And my first company went under. I started a company out of college. It went under in '95. I kept going. I slept on a couch for 2 years and built Live Person. And I had this therapist early on because I was really depressed when I started. I was broke, sleeping on a couch. I had a shower at a health club. It was pretty eating ramen noodles. And and uh, and this guy, I said, this therapist, Frank Morio, he said, "What's your dream?" And I said, "I want to go public." And here I am, I'm on a couch, broke. And he's like, "Okay." And he worked with me. And then, I got to go public in 2000. And I remember we lost touch with each other. Like, I didn't need him. Like, he helped me. And then he said, "Go on your own. You're done." He's that type
mhm,
of guy. I called him a couple of years later. I'm like, "Frank, I'm going public." He goes, "No, I know you would do it." He's like, you had clarity. You just need a little bit of, help on understanding what it would take to get there. So I would say that I've always felt that no matter what I've done, I've tried to do it the best. Like I used to wash cars, and I wanted to be like washing the president of the United States cars. I used to have these fantasies about. So I guess I just want to do what I'm doing the best that I could do, and it's not being a perfectionist. Going back to it, I just want to feel like I'm all in, and I'm going to make it look as beautiful as I can. So there is something that's connected me, and the rest of it is this wild ride of life that I could have never predicted to get me in. I'm in Los Altos, California. There's no script for it. There was no plan for it, but there was a plan. I do believe by God, however you define that. I've always felt
mhm.
there's something in my life pushing me along when I'm too stubborn or not aware to be put to know where I'm going to go. There's always been something pushing me, and always saying like, keep going, don't quit. It's okay. Dark day, don't quit. Good day, don't get too full of it. And I've just had this hand on me, helping me get to where I am. So that's my kind of the thread. And I don't have a plan for all of that. I have to believe there's someone else does. You cannot be an entrepreneur and believe in just your own hands. I'm sorry. There are too many dark days.
Mhm.
There's too many days looking in the abyss.
There's so many days looking in the abyss. I want to respect your time a little bit, but I'm about to get philosophical just for a second to see if it hits. But first of all, I'm not an atheist. I totally believe in God, but also from a scientific mind, from an amateur, someone who is curious about stuff like this, the idea that there's something outside of ourselves, like that something is supposed to happen, or something is not supposed to happen. I think it was the philosopher Hume that said there is something about there's no ought, but there you can't derive a ought from it is. What I'm getting at is there's something inside of us. Like, my point is, I don't think God is a separate thing outside of us, a pie in the sky. I just have you ever watched the Orville, the sci-fi show that
No,
it's a great show, but the reason I bring it up is there's this episode where they're dealing with time travel, and like it's creates these paradox, and the a person went back in time and then started this family, and then the crew had to go back in time to before this guy went back in time who started the family and tell him that he's not allowed to start the family because it's not supposed to happen.
I see.
And the problem with that is we there's no such thing as it's supposed to happen or it's not supposed to happen. And if you
I see.
study quantum physics, I'm obsessed with the many worlds interpretation of quantum physics. That like there's no paradox if every decision just splits us off into another timeline, and
Right.
there's no paradox that way. I would just went off on a tangent. I don't know what my point was, but just to hear if you have anything to say about that.
If I interpret what you're saying, I would say that well, there's two parts to that. I think one is you have to create a world in which you're going to live in. Okay, I think you have this power to take this thing that I think we all are reflecting God. I think we're creative beings, like we create, and I think we're in our best when we create, not destroy. And so I
Mhm.
think we all have this reflection of what. And once again, it's not whatever God. I'm not here to preach a term. It's not religion. I want to make that clear. This isn't about
Mhm.
religion. This is about a belief in something that's greater than you. And I believe we reflect these things. With that said, we have to paint that reality. We're painting that reality. We're constructing that reality because that's a creative process. Like it doesn't exist today. This conversation didn't exist before, right? So we
Mhm.
construct it, and we have to construct it, and that's that world you're talking about. And I don't think there's a path like that path was given to you, but you're still the builder of it. You're the constructor of
Mhm.
it. So I think that's what I think about when I think about quantum small worlds. Like we construct these worlds that we're in, and we construct another world we're in because they're painted by us. That's how I do say it. And our realities are all different. Like how I'm perceiving this conversation is different than you, and I'm going to paint it a certain
Mhm.
way. But anyway, I do think it starts with your belief that God or whatever you want to call
Mhm.
it is a creator. You've been created to create, and you're your best when you're creating and building and moving things forward for yourself and for others, especially for others. So that's the kind of the paradox, you know.
Yeah, that I I can confidently e- express to be true, in that it's the creators of the world who are actually creating abundance. It's not the takers or the scarcity-minded, uh, low agency people who are creating abundance. It's the people like you know, who are creating abundance.
But
Um,
I think if I just jump back to AI for a second,
okay.
AI has been it's a tool that is everything. Like you're right. I think you're right. If we stayed with abundance and that concept of abundance, and usually abundance to me is it's I don't want to use the word democratized, but abundance to me is like everyone can participate
Mhm.
in the world we're dealing with that with the current technology and the talk track behind the technology. It's not about abundance; it's about job loss. It's about
Mhm.
replacement of humans. It's about humans aren't as good as they used to be. They're not as good, and all of that is not abundance, and we don't like that. That's why people are starting to hate the whole thing because no one likes to live in a world where they can't be creators. Nobody wants to live in a world where they can't
Yeah.
like build things and no matter what you may build a little potted plant outside your house, you think it looks beautiful. That's creation. It doesn't mean to build a giant company, but people don't want they're ripping the plants out. Nobody wants to look take the tulips out and rip them out, and that's their job, ripping out beautiful tulips. Like there's no respect for that. You don't like that. So
No
we need to
respect.
build things. There's no respect. We don't know. If you saw a person, you know, have you ever seen this? Like a kid, I have kids. So like they don't know themselves. So like they'll do something to plants. Like they'll take a beautiful plant, they'll just walk through a garden of tulips and like my little 5-year-old would like
They're
rip them
so
all
funny.
apart, and it feels violent. It feels like an act of violence against nature. Like you're
Like, why
horrified.
did you do that?
I literally other parents are looking at you like it's a plant, and my kid's just like gone crazy on a plant, and yet you look at it like he murdered someone because he's like a 5-year-old. I'm like, but we see when you destroy something, even if it's a little tulip with a 5-year-old, it's like, oh my god. Versus if a kid was planting a tulip, it's like, oh, what a beautiful thing. So
Yes.
we understand in the very basic terms about creation and destruction, creation,
Mhm.
destruction.
That's great. Um, this is a good place to conclude, I think. What else is important to you that we didn't cover today?
You know, what's important to me is that I just want to, for everyone out there, put the platform aside. Uh, just go live the thing you need to live. Like I was talking to somebody today, and she was asking me about, you know, I don't think she's in a place that she wants to work at. Anyway, I just said, "What do you want to do?" And she threw something out, and it seemed silly to her. And I said, "Go do it, because if that came out of your head, that's what you should be doing. That's why you're put on Earth." And
Mhm.
I just got to tell people like, it's just go do what you're supposed to do. You know what you're supposed to be doing, and it was given to you. And if you can, and it's because at the end, when it's all said and done, nobody wants to be at the end of their life just got stuck. And you know, and some days I feel stuck, you know, and we all can feel a little stuck sometimes, and we have to make great change. Um, but my words to people, especially entrepreneurs, is like, or people who have something they're just unhappy with, just make the change. Like I often know my worst days are going to be followed by my best day, and because I've just got 28 years of a lot of bad days, but the next day is a good day, and so um, I often say like you just got to go out and kick ass, follow your dreams, and I know it's easy to say that, and because a lot of people are stuck in situations, a lot of money issues, but in the end, you don't want to be sitting there and like staring at the last days and going, what if? Like you
Yeah,
just
it's the
nobody
worst.
wants to be in. You cannot be in a what. I mean, I'm old enough to know like getting to what if would be a really lousy thing, because in the end, you're not taking your money, you're not taking anything with you, but you're going to take either you don't have that question or you do. The only reason I say that to everyone is, people talk that game because I don't want to live it. Like I have to say that because I also have to remind myself of the same thing every day. I don't want to live with what if because there's times where I'm just like I'd love to just not do anything. Obviously everyone just like, but it's not about the money. It's about I feel like I'm not doing the thing that I want to do. And so just follow it. Just follow what you got inside. If it seems silly, follow it. If it seems ridiculous, it's probably an awesome idea. Just follow it. So
I I love that. Yeah, I nothing to add. I mean, I have lots of thoughts about that, but nothing to add because it's very eloquent. Uh, wait, I'll just add this one thing. Those were powerful words that someone else said to me once. What do you want to do? and it was a famous designer, and I went to art school and dropped out and met with this famous designer, and he looked at my portfolio and he's like, "What?" It was I'm trying not to go off too much on a tangent to respect your time, but it was like a portfolio of my bad like sophomore art, and he was a designer, and I didn't understand that art and design are not the same thing. And so he said, "Well, if you want to do stuff like this, you have to give me something different. What do you want to do?" And I blurted out, "I want to be an artist." Um, I know the feeling of blurting things out, and that question is powerful.
Yep.
Thank you, Robert. I appreciate you being here and
Great
taking
time.
your time
Thanks, and awesome
today.
program. Hopefully everyone enjoyed it, and hopefully we can do it
Yeah,
again.
we have a lot of people watching right now.
Okay, cool.
Um, all right, man. I appreciate you. I'll let you get back to work.
And if you need me, by the way, I'm Rob at the letter UR.ai.
Yes,
And if
thank
you're
you.
watching this show, everyone who's watching this show who emails me, I'm going to give you 1 month free of our professional,
What?
which is like,
Wow.
it's like $200 worth of
That's
tokens. And I'll give that
that's
to you
phenomenal.
guys, but just email me, Rob at UR.ai. And basically I'll take care of everyone because whoever's on the show I know is hanging on and listening to us deserves to get something.
This is
Okay.
you better put a limit on it because it's gonna someone in 5 years is gonna see this and send you an email.
Yeah, there's a limit. Okay, for the next it's July 29th, 2026. I'll give it till July 30th, 2026. Okay, you get
Okay,
24 hours. I'll give it till 24 hours. Okay.
there we go. That's important.
Okay,
Don't want
man.
anyone to take advantage.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Thanks,
Thanks,
brother.
everyone. Okay,
Appreciate
thanks.
you.
Okay, goodbye.
Okay, bye. Oh man, are you guys pumped? I love that guy. I let him get back to work. I'm going to give you some ads right now, but if you stayed this long, thank you for staying this long to watch Hidden Secrets Revealed live. And I appreciate you guys watching. And that was an incredible offer. Take advantage of that. I knew there had to be a limit because very generous. So share this, retweet on X, subscribe if you're watching this on YouTube or Spotify. You're allowed to make fun of me. I don't know about Robert, but you're allowed to make fun of me only if your jokes are funny. You get my name right. Leave a review on Apple Podcasts. You don't have to do this, but if you want to, you can visit my X profile to learn more. It's not necessary to follow me on X, but I follow others who are funnier than me and smarter than me, but do what you want. Whatever you decide, you can now follow Safe New Media at Safe New Media on X. Follow at Safe New Media. Team up with me to bring about serious advancement for each other. The plan is for our community to share with each other the systems, processes, and workflows we are successfully using in order to help each other grow. It's not a cult, but have you ever felt that deep, powerful sense of belonging that transforms your entire perspective? That's what awaits you in our community. As you hear me talking now, you might begin to imagine yourself surrounded by like minded individuals who truly understand your aspirations. Picture yourself waking up each morning with renewed purpose, knowing you're part of something greater than yourself. Your future self is already thanking you for taking this step today. The door is open, and all you need to do is walk through it. Belong, hire, join our inner circle on Telegram. It's totally free. There's a link to it. It's on Telegram. There's a link to it at the top of the Safe New Media X profile. The official source for this show is safenewmedia.com/HSRL. This episode is brought to you by the AI Apocalypse Small Business Fix. Most small business owners know AI is changing things and they have no idea where to start. They're running their businesses, they don't have time to figure it out. Jeff Bezos described AI as the horizontal enabling layer, not a product, not a platform, not a feature, a layer underneath everything, like electricity, railroads, the internet. Remember people who missed out on those things? The people who didn't move became irrelevant. Intelligence itself is becoming infrastructure. All businesses that fail to adapt will become obsolete. Don't let it happen to yours. Go to safenew.media. That's safenew.media. Get your AI assessment for small businesses now. It's a roadmap we build for your business that shows you exactly where AI can improve your operations, customer follow ups, scheduling, marketing, repetitive admin work, etc. We find the gaps, explain what's possible, and hand you a clear written plan. You'll receive a written report. Simple, clear, no fluff. This is for you if you're a business owner with around 50 employees or less. You realize what's coming. It's already here, the AI tidal wave. You're aware that if you do nothing, your business is in trouble. Remember how everything changed during the pandemic? Today, a similar paradigm shift is happening. After the chat GPT moment came the deep seek moment, and then it was the open claw moment. The new normal is the next inflection point from another AI breakthrough. Are you falling behind? Ready to change with the times? Or would you rather get left behind? Now you can secure your AI apocalypse small business fix. Limit 3 clients per week. First come, first serve. Only one spot left this week. Get on our wait list when at capacity. Go to safenew.media. What I'm about to tell you next will shock you.
This is not an offer, solicitation of an offer to buy or sell securities. Past performance is not an indication of future results. Investing involves risk and may result in partial or total loss. Prospective investors should carefully consider investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses, and should consult with a tax or legal advisor before making any investment.
Before making any investment decision, always do your own research. This is not financial advice. Are you an accredited investor? Today, the market for multifamily real estate has shifted. We're at the bottom of the cycle for multifamily. Rent growth in the Sun Belt is at 0%. Most investors are about to get wiped out. Real estate has a dirty secret. It doesn't follow demand, it follows cheap money. And when money gets cheap, people build too much every time. That bill is due now. So, two opposing facts are true. Many apartment owners are distressed. The only reason they need to sell is not that they want to, they have to, or else return the keys to the bank. The other fact is that buying a home now costs roughly 105% more per month than renting. Families are stuck as forever renters. We're seizing this shift. We're passing on the majority of deals because the numbers don't work, but we are buying 100 unit assets in growth markets. In some cases, 80 units or less if it pencils. Few get in. Why? We don't need more money. We're looking for investors aligned with our values. We're improving quality of life at scale for hardworking families. Secure your place on our waitlist. Go to inveresta.com. You can now subscribe to our newsletter. That secures your place. And you'll get this gift for free. Inveresta is giving you a free gift to accredited investors. Get your free guide. It's called Location Science 2026, 5 filters to find growth markets for multifamily real estate. Okay, this is how we decide what is a good market to invest in. Don't ignore the data before you invest. When you subscribe, you secure your place on our wait list for the next opportunity. Most real estate people, you know what they tell you? Invest in your backyard, which is great. If you live in a backyard where there's increasing rent growth and job growth, but what if it's not? What if it's declining population growth, declining job growth? You have a problem, okay? If your backyard is in the wrong location, you know what they say? The most important thing? 3 things: location, location, location. So stop losing money in the wrong location. Hit me up on our X profile at Inveresta. Retail investors can send me a DM there. Let me know what kind of investment opportunities you are looking for. Accredited investors can get in touch with me today. Call my office, go to inveresta.com. Accredited investors only. This is not an offer or solicitation to the general public. Last thing, before I let you go, I want to invite you to subscribe to Methods of Prosperity newsletter. Methods of Prosperity newsletter is the newsletter that I write to my list every week. It's for fun. You owe it to yourself to be rich. Society, our parents, teachers, and peers have conditioned us. They want us to be like them. They need us to comply. They need us to be conventional like they are. As Herb Kelleher, co-founder and CEO of Southwest Airlines, remarked, all the people that were telling me those things were expressing conventional wisdom. And if it's conventional, it ain't wisdom. And if it's wisdom, it ain't conventional. My name is Sean Allen Fenn, and I'm obsessed with prosperity. This is the natural state of the human spirit. It turns out there's no limit. There's also many variables. Some keep their day job, others go all in. Some are entrepreneurs, others are value investors. But all of them have a certain mindset. Understanding what makes them tick grants us insight into our own journey. Methods of Prosperity newsletter is for anyone who agrees that success leaves clues. It's the most popular newsletter to brainwash yourself rich. Become a renegade billionaire. Go to safenewmedia.com/newsletter. Go to safenewmedia.com/newsletter. Do it. To become a billionaire, condition yourself to think like a billionaire. You can now subscribe for free at safenewmedia.com/newsletter. You can also join our community for Methods of Prosperity on Telegram. Check it out. Thanks for making this the most popular live stream at this hour on this subject, broadcasting on X, formerly known as Twitter. Hidden Secrets Revealed Live is a production of Safe New Media, unconventional, diversified global digital media company devoted to the practice, administration, and dissemination of the ideologies of its founder, moi, yours truly. My name is Sean Ellen Finn, and this is definitely not a cult. I like you, but don't take my word for it. Decide for yourself.